everyone, welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. I'm Amma Mama. I am doing just a very quick update this week. It's actually been a couple of weeks into the month now, but I have read one book, and I'll talk about this in a second, which is fine. I kind of figured that this month was going to be a little bit slower because it was all Stephen King books for the most part, except for my one Kindle book that I have that I'm going to be reading. And in addition, they were all like thicker books and, just going to be heavier reads. And so that was what I anticipated, and that is definitely kind of how it's turning out to be. And the first book that I started reading was Needful Things by Stephen King. And I got the audio version of this that I was listening to on Spotify, which I'm glad I did. So this book, basically somebody moves into the town of Castle Rock, and he opens up a store called Needful Things, and start selling things to the townspeople. And I don't know. I don't want to give away the book if people, for people who want to read it. So just on the back, like it says, a wonderful new store has opened in the little town of Castle Rock, Maine. Whatever your heart's secret desire, sexual pleasure, wealth, power, or even more precious things, it's for sale. And even though every item has a nerve-shattering price, the owner is always ready to make a bargain. In this chilling novel by one of the most potent imaginations of our time, evil is on a shopping spree out to scare you witless. So what I will say is, I did enjoy the book, but I'm really glad I listened to it, because this is probably one of the more gory Stephen King books that I've read in quite some time. And I don't have a good, I don't have a good tolerance for like gore. Like I can handle some of the scary things and stuff like that. But when there's a lot of like very descriptive language about what has happened, to a person, especially involving, I don't want to really give an example because it grosses me out even with that. But like, the gory details of, things that have happened after a stabbing and stuff like that. So I think that if I had been reading this rather than listening to it, I would have had a lot harder time getting through it. But because I had the audio book going, I could kind of do other things or like zone out a little bit during some of the very graphic scenes that he wrote about. So I still would rate this, 3.5, maybe a 4 stars, but for me, it's a little bit lower just because of the gore factor in it that I had a hard time with. I loved the ending. I loved the storyline. It just had some stuff that was just a little too graphic for me. But so because of that and because of the length of the book and everything, it did take a little bit longer to get through, because I think the original audiobook was over 20 or 30 hours long or something like that. And then I was listening to it sped up for a good chunk of the time. But even with that, it was still like 15 hours or something, I think, to listen to it. And so with everything else that I had going on, that was the main thing that I read. I am still reading Hell House, which again is just stories from around the world of different hauntings. And it's kind of interesting. I mean, there's definitely been, I'm a little over halfway through this book. There's definitely been some things in it that I had not heard of before, which is kind of fun because, sometimes you feel like you've heard about all the main, I don't know. Sometimes I feel like I've heard about all of like the main hauntings and places and stuff like that from TV shows and books and whatever. So there have been a couple in here that I had not heard of before that were kind of interesting. So I'm almost done with that book, but I'm just reading it slowly, a couple stories out of it every day here and there. And that's mostly just because, again, they're just like little recountings of hauntings rather than like a story about them even. And then I started reading Tommyknockers by Stephen King, and that's another one. It's very long, but this one I am reading, and it's really good. It's I keep feeling like it's not that I'm having a hard time getting into it, but because of the size of the book in general, very in depth. And so I feel like I'll read a little bit and then I get sidetracked and I go back and I read it again. And I don't know, I just feel like I haven't had a like huge chunk of time to be able to just sit and read without being interrupted for a long period of time. So I'm only about like a quarter way through that book, so it might take a little bit longer to finish that one as well. So, but again, I kind of expected that for this month based on the size of the books, but I am really enjoying Tommyknockers so far. Needful Things, I'm pretty sure I had read that before in high school and had just forgotten that I had read it, because as I was reading it, I was remembering more of the story. And so like I said, I enjoyed it, but Tommyknockers, I've not read before. So this one is brand new to me. So I'm enjoying it so far, and I'll see how it goes after I get a little further into it, but it's definitely interesting. So that's kind of all I have this week. Just, I wanted to at least pop in and say something about the one book that I did manage to finish, and then, a little bit about where I'm at so far for April, but next week, depending on, if I finish either Tommyknockers or the Hell House book, I'll just post a short little update. So I don't think I'm going to have enough read to have anything super long. So that is fine though. I hope you all have had a great week, and I will see you next time. Bye.